Hey people, it's Foxkey, and I wanted to address a feeling I've had recently relating to the state of Genshin, what I think about it now, and if it has any chance of improving in the future. And I'm sorry for the lack of videos upon the release of 2.4. It's harder than it looks to get the motivation to make content, especially if it's something a bit bigger than just a 3-minute commentary. But I can assure you, I've got something coming that isn't Genshin related in the works for you guys. Stay tuned, and I'll try not to fold this time. Genshin has a bit of a problem when it comes to content. Most patches actually give a pretty sizable amount of it, but a lot of it is either temporary or simply insignificant in the long term. And Kanamiya is beautiful and one of the most relaxing regions I think I've ever explored in this game, but I've been taking it pretty slow and I'm already 75% done with it. The events are entertaining, but take away content that would have improved the game long term if it had remained in some shape or form. Don't even get me started on how temporary the Abyss is either, with some people not even being able to clear it. This generates a feeling, at least for me anyway, that I'm not playing Genshin for the present, rather I'm playing it for the future. The company itself feeds into this with their marketing strategy of showing characters that are set to release the patch after the latest one, right as said latest patch releases. It's a good strategy, but only generates a good amount of initial hype that dies fairly quickly and doesn't help the game in the slightest. In a way, you could call it power creep, as a mass majority of Genshin players might commonly say I'm skipping X patch, so while the content's there, I'm sure you can agree with me that as a community, we've reached the point where the characters that we have to spend 14,000 gems on each time, at a minimum, are the only source of content that really lasts and means something to us players. I need to say this now, I love Genshin Impact, simply because there's nothing else too much like it. It's always been that way, but it just doesn't feel great that such easily fixable problems such as the banner system, resin, overload of temporary content, and lack of transparency go unnoticed. Notice how I didn't mention Raid and Beta synergy, because it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. And the changes we do receive is 3 extra commission quests that we'll get maybe once every 4 months due to the random pool. Yeah, that sure spices it up a little, doesn't it? So, can they fix this? Yeah, of course they can. The feedback is there, and I'm sure they're actually reading at least a little bit of it, even if they aren't telling us about it. Realistically, if miHoYo ever becomes more transparent, there's a good chance the other issues will be fixed in a cascade. The only thing we can really do is what I've been doing for the past 6 months, and what I hope receives a solution in the next 6 months or so, playing Genshin for the future rather than the present. Thanks for hearing me out, of course. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you left some evidence that you were here for at least a little bit. Whether that's a like, subscription or comment, I don't mind, you choose. I'll see you in my next video. Have a good life, everyone.